Do you always forget new English words or struggle with spelling? Today I'll show you the best techniques to remember them forever. Hi, I'm your English coach. I've been learning languages for over 20 years, and I learned all of them fast and easily, using effective language learning techniques. That's why in this video, I'll share at least 5 of them so you can start using them today to remember new English words and spelling. Let's get started. First, you can use flashcards to learn new words and memorize their spelling. Flashcards are an amazing study tool because they help you practice and review words and phrases so that they become part of your long-term memory. And what makes flashcards so special is that they focus on active recall, which means that instead of just reading the words, you have to actively try to remember what they mean. This helps to strengthen your memory and understanding of the words. You can use physical flashcards or digital ones. There are lots of apps available that do the same thing, such as Quizlet or Anki. Anki is my favorite because it uses spaced repetition, which has been proven to be an effective technique to remember things. Second, write a sentence or a short story using the new word. When you write something, you engage your brain in the learning process, and by actively thinking about how to use the new word or spelling in a context, you will be able to remember it better. For example, if I want to learn the new word laughter, I can write a sentence like her laughter was contagious, which means that when she laughed, everyone around her started laughing too. By writing this sentence, I'm not only memorizing the spelling of the new word, but I'm also learning how to use it in a context. You can also make up a funny story using this word so that you'll remember it forever. The sillier and more memorable the story is, the better. Third, break the word into smaller parts. Many times, we struggle to remember the spelling of a new word because we don't know it all at once. So breaking it into smaller parts such as syllables or sound patterns can make it easier to remember. For example, if you want to learn the spelling of successful, you can break it into 3 syllables. Success, fool. It's much easier to remember the syllables than the whole word at once. You can also look for familiar sound patterns in the word. For example, successful has the same sound pattern as successful. Once you've identified the syllables or sound patterns, you can practice them separately and then put them together. Fourth, practice the spelling by repeating it over and over again. One effective way to improve your spelling is to practice the spelling of the word by repeating it over and over again. This may seem like a simple technique, but it is very powerful and can be very effective in helping you remember the spelling of new words. As you repeat the spelling of the word, you should also try to visualize it in your mind. This can help to create a mental image of the word and its spelling, making it easier to recall when you need it. You can also try using different techniques to practice the spelling of the word, such as writing it out multiple times, using a whiteboard, or drawing the letters in the air. And finally, you can use a memory device called a mnemonics are essentially memory tricks that help you remember words or concepts. For example, if you want to remember the colors of the rainbow, you can use the mnemonic device Richard of York. Each letter in the phrase represents the first letter of each color in the rainbow. Or you can use rhymes or word associations to remember new words. For example, if you want to learn the spelling of library, you can make a rhyme, like in the library, books are free. Before we wrap up, here's a summary of everything we've covered. If you want to remember new words and spelling, you have to practice, practice, and practice again and again. There is no other way. But if you use effective techniques, you'll remember them forever. So give it some time and effort and you'll see results. Lastly, if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more English learning tricks. See you next time!